Howdy y'all. Hey, I wanted to introduce to you a new little toy that I got to take out into the hog blind with me. It's a 1022 tactical, kind of a tongue twister there. But they make about 3, maybe 4 variants of the tactical. And this is the one that's got the bull barrel, and it's kind of just a 16-inch. And what makes it unique though is I took it into a gunsmith and had him thread it. Which was a little bit of a trick because the bull barrel is not something that's been machined into a perfect circular roundness. It was cold hammer forged, and that means it was kind of beaten into round with hammers. And so the gunsmith was a little bit worried, and he wouldn't give me a 100% success rate. He said he thought he could get 95%. And so I said, well, it's worth the risk. I'll go ahead and try it, and we did, and it came out just fine. I'll show you some footage of me shooting it, hopefully, and you'll be able to see that it is kind of pretty close to a tack grabber. I can't hit an aspirin at 50 yards, every time, but every now and then I'll hit that aspirin. But usually I can hit a dime, maybe 3 out of 4 times, I would say, and that's pretty good at 50 yards hitting a dime. So anyway, I'll give you a little review of it, tell you a little bit more about it in detail. And then I'll take some shots. Now this Ruger 1022 has got a bull barrel on it. I'm not quite sure how thick it is, but pretty close to 1 inch here, I would say. And it is hammer forged, and I don't know how well you can tell it, but it's kind of got a little bit of a spiraling to it. And hammer forging is kind of a cheap way to make a barrel, but what they do is they take a thick stubby stock of steel, some kind of alloy, and they insert a mandrel, which is something down the center of the tube. They've already drilled it out, and then they put it inside kind of a souped up vise that's cylindrical, like a big old 55-gallon drum, and it's got hammers in it that just hammer on it and lengthen it out to, in this case, 16.12 inches. So it's just right at 16 inches. I don't know if you'll be able to see inside there, but I've modified this end a little bit. But it's got a crowned barrel that's recessed, which I like. But that's one of the things I had them do, is go ahead and put a threading on this. I didn't know at the time that this was not perfectly round. I guess I could have determined that, and the gunsmith was a little worried about trying to thread it and chalk it up in his turning mill because it wasn't quite round. But anyway, he did a really fantastic job. When I put my suppressor on, I don't have any baffle strikes or anything. I think I paid about $100 to have it threaded, and then another $20 for this thread protector here. So anyway, it was a little pricey. Probably I could have bought a new bull barrel for just as much and been okay. But anyway, I like this hammer forged look, and with that spiraling on it. This barrel has got 6 grooves in it, I believe. And then it also comes with this Hogue over-molded stock here. And it's kind of a plasticky, rubbery, more rubbery type feeling, really. I don't know how well you'll be able to tell it, but it's got some kind of like goosebump flesh on it, kind of embossed on there or whatever. And it makes it real grippy. It also has kind of a rubberized, well, it's also got that, I don't know if they'd call it stippling or embossing or what, but it's also got kind of a rubber butt plate pad on the back here that makes it kind of grippy. Let's see, now it also comes with this little bipod here, and it's got like a little shoe plate that you put over a sling stud, and the bipod doesn't extend real far, but it works really good for shooting on the bench rest. Now it's also coming with a base plate here for a scope, but it does not have any rear sights originally, and it does not have any front sights, which is fine. I don't like front sights anyway, because they usually will glare if you're going to try to use a light at night, which that's my purpose in getting this, is because I wanted something that was pretty close to a tack driver as I could get in a 22 that had repeat follow-up shots. And this action, of course, is semi-automatic. It has an extended magazine release underneath here. I like that, and then the magazine sits flush in there. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that or not, but and then another thing I like about it is just this kind of a push button safety that runs cross bolt. The trigger on this is, I don't know if it's match grade or anything. I think it's a 2-stage trigger. And it's pretty crisp. It doesn't have a lot of travel to it, and I like that. So I would say, you know, rating wise, I'd give it a B+ on the trigger anyway. It's not the best trigger I've ever felt, but it's pretty good for, you know, a 1022 or a 22 anyway. This model is called the Ruger 1022 Tactical. And I think there's 3, maybe 4 variants of the Tactical. But this is the one I liked with the bull barrel. It's kind of short and stubby. And the reason I like that is because when I put that suppressor on there, you know, it adds another 6 inches to it or whatever. And when you're working inside of a box blind or something, it's kind of nice to have something that's fairly short. It's got a 1 16" right-hand twist on it. And as I mentioned, I think it has 6 grooves that they put in the barrel. It weighs 6.8 pounds. I'm not sure if that's with the bipod or not, but then I throw this scope on there. That's another couple of pounds, and then another pound for that battery. So it makes it something that you really don't want to stalk through the woods with. I like to just take it and put it in a box blind and put the camera on. This scope has a camera. This is the ATN X-Sight 5x18, and it's got a little camera that's built into this. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little micro SD card in there. The length of the gun is overall, I believe, 34.5 inches. Let me get this thread suppressor off of here, and you can kind of see what kind of job they did on getting it threaded. I think it's 18 by ½ inch, and they still left the crowning of the barrel untouched, so I really like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this suppressor on. This is an Element II, I think by a group called AAC, and seems to do a pretty good job. I've shot this a few times and it didn't seem like I was getting any baffle strikes or anything, so we'll go ahead and try to be fairly quiet and so we don't disturb the neighbors. Shooting this Gemtech Subsonic 22 long rifle. I believe it's 42 grains, and it travels 10-20 feet per second. Go ahead and get my scope cam turned on, and I'm going to shoot 3 rounds at each one so it doesn't really obliterate everything, and we can kind of see. There's not a whole lot of wind, but we got a little breeze out here. So I'm going to zoom in, and you'll be able to see kind of what the zoom looks like on this. Right now I'm at 5 power, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom it on up to, I don't know, about 25, 30, something like that. There's 15 power. Well, there's 42. That's probably more than I need, but let me get steadied in here and take a few shots. All right, that was 3 at the bottom left. Now I'm going to go up at the top left. All right, going over to the top right. Now 3 on the bottom right. Alright, let me turn this scope off and then we'll go down range, have a look at that target. Well, it looks like on my first target I was kind of up at the 12 o'clock position. I only got one on the edge of the dime, one on the edge of the quarter, and then one little flyer outside there. But on this next one I got I would say 2 on the dime because I hit the line, and then 1 on the edge of the quarter, none on the aspirin size. And then my third shot over here, I guess I got 2 on the dime, 1 on the quarter, and then on the last one finally I hit the aspirin, and then I had 1 on the edge of the dime, and I guess 2 on the edge of the dime. So the gun, you know, is probably as good as a shot as I can be, and the suppressor makes it nice and quiet. It's a nice little package for the hogs, and this little ATN X-Sight 5x18 I think is going to be able to help me shoot at night, so hopefully I'll be able to get some video of taking some hogs with this little 22. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and share and all that, and even if you didn't, give a thumbs up to the 1022 Tactical, because it is one super nice dream shooting of a gun.